Very good evening to you, our dear viewer. It is the 29th of January 2026. My name is Patrcia Lukoma Mpango, and in a short while, Dorothy Namyomba will be joining us there on sign language. But first, though, let's look at the top stories. Tonight, Prime Minister Nabanja pushes for empowerment of local contractors and bans unnecessary foreign consultants. Auditor General's report flags understaffing across MDAs, raising service delivery concerns. Parliament adopts NBFP amid calls for accountability and value for money. NRM Elma Chala Kapel wins Northern Uganda Youth MP seat, joins. And into the news, the Prime Minister, Right Honourable Nabanja Robina, has asked the Ministry of Works and Transport to empower Ugandan contractors to reduce repatriation to other countries. Nabanja made the remarks this afternoon while chairing an inter-ministerial meeting on the progress of the roadworks in the country and the Kampala metropolitan area.
Nabanja says that as the government, there is need to start empowering the Ugandan-born road construction companies as one way of reducing repatriation and help the economy develop further. Nabanja says that when road contracts are undertaken by local Ugandan contractors, all the profits remain in the country, which is healthy for the economy.
Deliberately supporting the local contractors to build our economy as a must under your ministry, Jaja. Local contractors like Abubakar, you have those that have attested already. See how to help them with these small projects so that they can build themselves.
Nabanja asked the Ministry of Works and Transport to prevail over the contractor of the Mubende-Mityana Road to quicken work but also carry out forward maintenance to improve the usage of the road.
Wanted you to see how to help us. Mubende-Mityana Road is a thorn in our throat. We the leaders who go through, we are tired of being abused by local villagers.
General Edward Katumba Wamala, the Minister for Works and Transport, said that the government has fully paid all the contract sum of money for the rehabilitation of Mityana Mubende Road and Busunju Chiboga Hoima Road.
Mityana Mubende, we have paid that person fully. 10 million. We have paid him fully. Now, yes, that was the last payment. We had earlier paid him 39, then paid him another lot, and this 10 billion is the last payment which we paid him.
Katumba says that as the ministry, they are creating a fully fledged road equipment unit to start carrying out works, especially in maintenance, and later can start road construction.
The Japanese are ready through the same funding arrangement like what we used to fund.
Under JICA?
Yes.
Please, the earlier we did it, the better.
So it's with the finance already.
I'm told Rwanda is coping.
And also in that package there is equipment for KCCA and the cities, so that they can also address issues of potholes in their municipalities.
State Minister for Finance Henry Musasizi says that the ministry has made significant financial releases to enable works on the roads.
As the Minister of Works has stated, out of the 1.6 trillion, so far 500 billion has been released.
Meanwhile, the chairperson of the National Planning Authority of Uganda, Dr. Pamela Mbabazi, emphasized the need to have special consideration of Ugandan contractors in the management of government projects.
Would like that you have a deliberate plan to empower local contractors. So we are happy to come and work with you, but to see that we deliberately, just like Muse is helping to get coffee, you big people, let's also try to get contractors that are Ugandan.
In a related development, the Prime Minister also held a follow-up meeting on the progress of the revitalization of Wadalei irrigation scheme in Patrcia district that had stalled. Nabanja tasked the Ministry of Water and Environment to ensure the project is completed in the agreed time frame so that the people of West Nile can benefit from it. However, Nabanja noted that there is need for a value for money audit of the project, and whoever is found culpable will be dealt with accordingly.
We need to account for every penny that we spend as government. And so we shall be on site on Thursday. Wadalai.
Nabanja made it clear that the government will no longer allow the hiring of consultants in the implementation of government projects, but rather use the available government workers.
Is that we have made an effort to work together as ministers and put our technical people together, because we are serving one government.
The Premier promised to take another spot inspection of the Wadalei irrigation scheme to ensure it is completed as promised. Nals Bawini reporting for UBC.
Now, the Office of the Auditor General has cited understaffing in ministry departments and agencies that hinder adequate service delivery to render to Ugandans. The Auditor General Edward Akol notes that 46% gap of the required human resource in these MDAs were on the required 658,000 staff, and only 356,000 were available.
Over 6,000 audits were conducted by the Office of the Auditor General as per the 2024-2025 Annual Audit Report. The report highlights splitting of procurement in government MDAs. The AG noted 74 procurement requirements worth 158 billion relating to various supplies, services and works were split, which could have been under a single contract.
That while significant efforts have been made to improve public procurement management, a number of shortcomings remain unaddressed, and these include variations incurred by government entities for common use goods and services. What I mean here is that a computer in one ministry has a different cost in another ministry. In certain instances, it goes up to about 100%. The same goes for construction of government buildings and road infrastructure, where significant differing costs were noted per square meter or kilometer constructed. There is also low level of implementation of procurements and absence of multi-year procurement plans, as well as implementation of unplanned procurements.
The report further indicated that some government MDAs failed to embrace the electronic government procurement system.
The system in itself also faces a number of operational challenges, such as system access limitations, data duplication, and reporting constraints. While these issues do not diminish the importance of the EGP as a reform initiative, addressing them will help fully realize the system's intended benefits.
Although government approved the entire parish development model budget, it was highlighted that there was delayed distribution of money to the said beneficiaries and overpayment to parish chiefs.
Cases of ineligible projects implemented, and that some of the projects were non-existent, although funded. There were also diversions of funds and cases of duplicate recipients noted among households.
While handing over the audit report for the year 2024-2025 to the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, the Auditor General cited various challenges that affect adequate service to Ugandans.
Sufficient transport fleet that affects our ability to audit remote areas, particularly under the Parish Development Model Program. Additionally, we need to constantly update our technology tools to enable us match the ever-increasing risks in the public expenditure.
Speaker Among called upon the Minister of Finance to facilitate the AG's office in terms of improving their staff and transportation for quick service delivery.
You see how to support them, one in terms of increasing their staff.
The team knows how far we have come, and I want to request them that since we are in the budgeting season, let's see the requirement and then together we work out what is possible.
The Auditor General's report also assessed value for money in 24 entities where all fully utilized resources accorded to them. Lydia Chomkama, Parliament.
Now, Parliament has expressed concerns over the delayed donor-funded projects despite the availability of funds, and apparently the government is battling with whooping public debt to a tune of 118 trillion, but with stalled projects. Now, the Ministry of Finance was tasked to explain the inconsistencies leading to the delays affecting development of various infrastructures.
Parliament has Thursday afternoon sat to debate on a number of issues. The Deputy Speaker, Thomas Taibwa, in his communication as chair, congratulated colleagues upon their victory in the elections.
On his successful re-election into office and all other presidential candidates that participated in the election. I also want to congratulate you, honorable colleagues, who made it to the August House once again, and also our colleagues who didn't make it, to come back here. We know you're already leaders. You will remain part of this family, and we shall continue working with you.
Reacting to the communication, the leader of opposition, Joe Senyonyi, raised issues he said were of critical concerns, like the credibility of elections, brutality and candidate ill treatment, and needed to be addressed by the August House. Joel expressed disappointment with the biometric voter verification machines, which he said procuring them was through a supplementary budget of 400 billion shillings, and yet we are not effective, especially during the presidential and parliamentary elections.
The interesting thing, Honorable Speaker, 2 days ago we were voting for the last batch of local government leaders. I saw the machines were functional. So I asked, what miracle has happened that the machines which failed to work at presidential and parliamentary, district chairpersons, lord mayors and so on, now when we are doing the last leg, the final one, the machines functioned. Government needs to bring us up to speed.
The Deputy Speaker, Thomas Taibwa, said Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs will give an official statement, but after making clear consultations.
It was saying they are even doing investigations. So I think that would give them, no, it is under Electoral Commission. So it's the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs who is in charge of the Electoral Commission that should answer that one of the machines.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Parliamentary, said government received information about the technical hitches of the machines, however confirms that this did not affect the integrity of the elections.
Unfortunately, on the day of voting, we got a report that there were technical hitches. I was given a report on phone as the Minister of ICT, but an agreement was made with the Electoral Commission that voting goes on using the manual register. And the failure for the machines to work on that day did not in any way injure the integrity of the exercise.
Ssenyonyi alleges many members of the top leadership of the National Unity Platform were abducted. Government responded that it does not do abductions and those with missing people should report to police.
It is unacceptable that people get abducted and their whereabouts are not known for 1 day, for a week, coming to 2 weeks. Why can't people be produced in court? Government needs to help us understand.
Abductions, we don't abduct, we arrest. If you breach the law, you get arrested. And we can account for all those people under custody. They may delay to be produced, but we don't abduct as government.
Cases of those you are saying have been abducted, I cannot confirm here that someone has been abducted because there is a law on missing persons. If your dear one goes missing for a number of days, the law requires you to report to police.
On security agencies' presence at Robert Chagulanyi's home, government responded that the light deployment was to ensure that the home does not become a public disorder hub.
Yesterday, his siblings tried to access his home. After, the minister again said, no, all is well, people can access. His siblings went there yesterday. And police officers, several of them deployed there, they said, we don't have authority to allow anybody to access this place.
That first of all, a prison presupposes that there are prisoners in a premise. That home is not a gazetted prison. The Honorable Chagulanyi himself is not there.
Light deployment at his home, not to harass anybody, but for Ugandans not to use the home as a public disorder hub for purposes of security.
Ssenyonyi, however, advised that if Chagulanyi has a case with government, he should be issued with summons. Government, however, responded that there is no case it has on Chagulanyi and it is not interested in him. He went into hiding by himself. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at Parliament.
Well, thank you very much there, Namfuk, and of course that was the story of a Parliament on election issues and the hitches there of the biometric verification kits. So we were having some clarification there from the government's side. Now back to the NBFP Parliament story. Parliament has expressed concerns over the delayed donor-funded projects despite the available funds. Apparently, the government is battling with a hoping public date to the tune of 118 trillion shillings, but with stalled projects. The Ministry of Finance was tasked to explain the inconsistencies.
The National Budget Framework Paper for financial year 2026-2027 has maintained a calm digit of 69.399 trillion shillings, slightly lower than the resource envelope for this financial year.
This financial year, 2026-2027, is the second year of implementing the National Development Plan 4, and this is the first plan to deliver the tenfold growth strategy of expanding the size of the economy to a GDP of $500 billion by 2040.
The plenary session, chaired by Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, considered the NBFP, but with a desert of questions poking holes on the utilization of the loans and grants.
Our recommendation is that government should strengthen the resolve on concessional borrowing and not domestic borrowing over the medium term. This would bring down the cost of debt service and improve the fiscal space for increased service delivery in the country.
By the end of June 2025, the domestic debt accounted for the larger share of public debt at 62.2 trillion shillings. As presented, the total public debt stands at 118 trillion shillings.
It is true that our public debt is projected to go beyond 50% minimum target. But Mr. Speaker, this is not the problem. Why? Because our numbers continue to show that our debt obligations are manageable now and also in the long term.
The House further developed interest on the minority report presented by Ibrahim Semujunganda, who interested the MPs on the list of a section of stalled projects which secured funding through loans.
Kampala flyover construction. Finance says it has stagnated. Kampala City Roads rehabilitation. They are now revising it. The time will elapse. They are revising it. And you know each revision comes with money. Multinational Kapchorwa, Suyam Kitare and Eldoret bypass. This one has almost been completed, but after a delay. Change Johoi Mamasindi Chigumba Road. The project have not been completed, more money is needed.
The Minister of State for Finance, General Duties, Henry Musasizi, reveals that some projects take off with issues, including lack of feasibility studies, while others change design. Musasizi adds that some projects have not had counterpart funding, accepting the blame on the side of the government.
I commit that this weakness of delayed projects will not continue happening. I want to use this example of Busegampigi. Busegampigi, this is one of the projects.
After the minority report raised a red flag on the unfinished donor-funded projects, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, highly advised that the sector committees processing loans ensure that the commitments to counterpart funding are considered to avoid further delays of projects.
And maybe, Honourable Minister, the issue of acquisition of land before taking off of these projects. Because it's a very big concern. Someone is given, they commence the project when land is not available. Man says, I mobilize it, I need $30 million. My equipment was idle.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
3 months after the election.
Thank you very much there, Daniel Mugoya. Now, the Uganda People's Defense Forces Army Council yesterday convened at the Land Forces headquarters, Bombo, in Luweero district, to elect new representatives of the UPDF in the 12th Parliament in elections conducted in accordance with Section 72 of the Parliamentary election and chaired by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF.
Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF have elected their 10 representatives to the 12th Parliament following an Army Council meeting held at UPDF Land Forces headquarters in Bombo in Luweero district.
Being the returning officer for election of Uganda People's Defense Forces representatives to Parliament, having added up the number of votes cast for each candidate in accordance with Section 72 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, Cap 177, I declare the following who have obtained the largest number of votes as elected. 1. Okiding Sam, 340 votes. Mujira James, 303 votes. Kavma Samuel, 282 votes. Gonyi David Robert, 266 votes.
General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Commander-in-Chief, chaired the Army Council that includes members of the High Command, senior officers, directors of services, and commanding officers of brigades and battalions.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me by Article 98 Clause 1 of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda was installing in authority. The wish of the NRM from the 1960s has been to okwemeka the people of Uganda population, to put them in charge of their country.
3 seasoned generals served in the 11th Parliament, bounced back in the 12th Parliament. That includes Lieutenant General James Mugira, Major General Henry Masiko, and Lieutenant General Sam Kavuma.
I would like to commend and congratulate you, the members of the UPDF family, upon this successful electoral polling exercise. As we all witnessed, the voters were orderly and peaceful.
Lieutenant General James Mugira is the Managing Director and CEO of the National Enterprises Corporation NEC. Major General Henry Masiko is the Chief Political Commissariat, while Lieutenant General Sam Kavuma is the Deputy Coordinator of Operations Wealth Creation.
And with great humility, honor and respect, Your Excellency, I salute you.
New faces include Major General James Kinawa, Major General Joseph Semwanga, Brigadier General David Gonyi, Colonel Knight Ikeliza, Colonel Sylvia Meme, and Colonel Christine Nekesa.
And the way to do it is to have free and fair elections on the basis of one person, one vote by secret ballot. This has been a problem since 1962, 61 actually. We have been struggling to have one person, one vote.
This is the first elections ever since the launch of the UPDF establishment, which is the comprehensive document outlining the new structural framework of the Uganda People's Defense Forces.
That's why we introduced a lineage behind candidates, because we wanted a method of elections which is not contestable, which is transparent. And you remember it helped us a lot in the creation of the LOCs. It was by lining up. With these few remarks, I congratulate everybody. I thank the Electoral Commission. I thank the Army leadership for what has been done. Congratulations, all of you.
Meanwhile, General David Mhoz, General Katumba Amala, General Wilson Mbasumbadi, General Peter Erel, Brigadier Chaite Bainababu, and Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Jennifer Alanyo, among the faces who will be missed in the 12th Parliament. UPDF is allocated 10 seats in Parliament as a special interest group under Article 78 of the 1995 Constitution. The provision ensures that the meter remains connected to the national political process on matters of security, defense, and stability. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
And of course, with that, at 28 minutes past 8 o'clock, we're going to take a short break, but do not go away. We'll return with more news. Stay with us.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
And back to news, Christopher Tumwine, popularly known as Papa, has won the position of parish councillor after a landslide victory, defeating candidates from all political parties while running as independent.
Residents from more than 10 villages across Kamocha Parish poured onto the streets to celebrate the overwhelming victory of their preferred candidate, Tumwine, who had long been encouraged by residents to join elective politics, ran an intensive grassroots campaign, moving door to door to thank voters for their trust and support. Some residents were seen dancing and singing celebratory songs, expressing joy and appreciation for his victory. Tumwine thanked the people of Kamocha for entrusting him with their votes, noting that despite not belonging to any political party, residents chose him based on trust and confidence in his leadership.
As for issues, one, we have the issue of sanitation and hygiene, which is a general problem because Kamocha is low-lying. It's like in a valley. I want to work on the water streams. I want to work on the garbage issues. I want to work on the filled-up pit latrines that landlords don't empty. Not in an authoritative manner, but in a behavior change manner.
He assured residents of committed and dedicated service, emphasizing that Kamocha is his home. He pledged to prioritize job creation and improved health service delivery, noting that the area has for a long time suffered neglect.
I'm a very transparent person and religious. I want to work on the community development projects through women, saving schemes. I have all proposals ready.
Voters with excitement explained why they abandoned candidates from political parties in favor of Tumwine, citing his humility, accessibility, and long-standing service to the community.
Tuze kukola buweereza, tetuze kukola mparana. Kansala tuze nga twagala bukulembeze n'ekikufuga.
Si muntu alumirirwa muntu omu. Papa zalumirirwa buli muntu. Era papa tumukolede nga tetumubanja. Ffe twalonda Muzeeyi Museveni, ne tulonda Misa Kabanda, twalonze ne Uhuru, ne Kuwero Sivili ne tugamba Katonda omuntu asula mu Kamocha, yamanye ebizibu bya Kamocha.
Musanyufu nnyo era nga nalonze omupiira, ne ngusonseka mu bbaasi ndabe nga gutambula.
The National Resistance Movement NRM flag bearer Elma Chala Kapel has won the youth member of parliament seat for the northern Uganda region. The election was held on Wednesday at Mvara Secondary School in Arua City.
1,245. Chala Elma Kapel, who has obtained the largest number of votes to be the elected candidate. Youth Parliament for Northern Region. The returning officer's name is Shesaju Madam.
And we're here to work together to ensure that there's proper youth inclusion, to ensure that all the things I mentioned in my agenda are going to be fulfilled. Things about consultative leadership, things about impactful participation, to ensure that the youth of Northern Uganda are actually benefiting from what is rightfully theirs. And our youth leaders are also included and catered for whenever it comes to representation, especially in the floor of Parliament. Demographic of Northern Uganda, we have different kinds of farming. For example, in West Nile, you find we have people who are fishermen. When you go to Karamoja, we literally are cattle keepers. When you come to Langwa and Acholi, we have people who are growing crops. So in Northern Uganda, we need to look at farming, especially the young people. We shouldn't only focus on white-collar jobs and start circles that will benefit our farming. For example, people of Pakwach, you can start food processing industries to ensure that the young farmers the young fishermen that are fishing are able to package their goods and even send them abroad. We don't have nang in other parts of Uganda, so it's something that should actually be tapped on.
And all I can say is that the NRM as a party is extremely overwhelmed with the good news that is coming from all over Uganda. We have not only delivered the Northern Youth MP here, we have won massively in Western Uganda. The regional youth MP in Western Uganda, Tumine, is also a flag bearer of the NRM. In Central Uganda, Sam Bejire is also a flag bearer of the NRM. My young brother or son from Eastern Uganda, Wanyama, is also a flag bearer of the NRM, and today they have all won massively. That tells us that the victory or the recently acquired victories of the party in the presidential and member of parliament elections are real victories that show us that the Ugandans still believe and trust in the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
The Eastern Africa Grain Council, in partnership with international development and private sector players, has launched a climate-smart irrigation project aimed at improving productivity among smallholder farmers in Uganda.
The Eastern Africa Grain Council has trained smallholder farmers on climate-smart agriculture and sustainable irrigation solutions. The training is aimed at addressing the devastating effects of climate change, which have significantly reduced crop yields among smallholder farmers up to 60%.
We've interviewed and worked with about 2,000 farmers so far to understand what their needs are. And our focus is how can we bring them economic benefit. So what we want to do in the programme is bring the yields for the smallholder farmer much closer to the commercial farming outputs. So again, this is not about only some technology. This is about education. It's about helping farmers to make the right decisions in their farming inputs.
The program targets farmers in eastern and northern Uganda, where over 25,000 smallholder farmers are expected to benefit through training, awareness, and market-oriented farming support.
Yes, we expect that once they adopt the irrigation technologies, they will be able to improve their household income, but also to improve their livelihoods, because this is an opportunity for them to diversify into high-value crops like the fruits and vegetables, which have a very high demand. Will also be playing a key role in supporting these smallholder farmers access the markets for these high-value crops.
The target in this project is to ensure that we have over 1,200 kits deployed. The issue of financing is not a problem here, because we, as Akivo, we are partnering with government in this partnership as well, with a project called the Electricity Access Scale-Up Project, which is supporting these farmers with 60%. They're giving a subsidy of up to 60%. Then the farmer will be able to pay the other 40%.
Project implementers say the goal is not only to distribute equipment, but to empower farmers with knowledge and practical support to improve resilience, productivity and livelihoods in the face of unpredictable weather patterns.
Solar-powered irrigation system is one of the strategies towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 13. So to our farmers out there, we shall be coming to you to advise you on how to use this technology and how to apply it, which type of crops you're going to use.
Also, we shall hold demonstrations and be able to give after-sales service to ensure that the products are being used rightly.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Now, in our next story, as we look at the judiciary, it has finalized preparations for the 2026 Annual Judges Conference, an event that officially ushers in the new law years that will be held on the 5th of February 2026. However, Supreme Court justices will not attend this year's conference as they will be engaging in handling the presidential election petition currently before court.
The Judicial will hold its 27th Annual Judges Conference from 2nd to 4th February 2026, while the annual New Law Year celebrations will take place on Thursday, 15th February 2026. Both events will be held in Kampala and are expected to attract justices of Court of Appeal and Constitutional Court, High Court judges and registrars from across the country.
And the aim is to review performance, share experiences, examine emerging challenges, and set strategic directions for the administration of justice. The conference is convened by the Judiciary through the Judicial Training Institutes, and its outcomes directly inform policy, training, leadership practice, and institutional reforms. As you have heard, this year's theme.
According to the chairperson of the Governing Council of the Judicial Training Institute, who also doubles as the Supreme Court Justice, Justice Michael Chibita, Supreme Court judges will be unavailable due to their constitutional duties to handle the presidential election petition. Justice Chibita also emphasized the importance of the Judges' Conference, noting that it provides an opportunity to evaluate the judiciary's performance over the previous year and chart the way forward.
On the agenda, we have alternative justice systems. Alternative justice systems, these are informal justice systems. So one of the topical issues that is going to be discussed is how do we link the informal justice system to the formal? Because as you know, from the various studies that have been done, about 90% or more of our cases are resolved in the communities using
Justice Andrew Kauka said the conference will focus on key issues affecting the judiciary, including case backlog, health and wellness of judicial officers.
In the past year, how have we performed in realizing the vision, which is justice for all? How have we performed in realizing the mission? And so the topics for discussion at the Annual Judges Conference are intended to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in the administration of justice. And that's why it is important for you as the media, as you report what is going to take place at this event, you need to remind yourselves about the vision and about the mission and the core values of this institution.
Judicial officers will also use the platform to discuss strategies for integrating the formal justice system with alternative dispute resolution mechanism as part of the efforts to reduce case backlog.
Wellness reflections are embedded throughout the day to reinforce resilience in demanding judicial context, as we said earlier. Then we shall go to day 3. We shall focus on technology and leadership. Wednesday, 4th February 2026, focuses on forward-looking tools for judicial administration. Key sessions will examine A, integrating artificial intelligence in effective and efficient case management, and B, leadership as a tool for effective case management.
highlighting the role of judicial leadership and accountability, innovation, and staff morale.
The 2026 Judges Conference will be held under the theme, Judicial Wellness, a tool for effective case management. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is expected to be the chief guest at the official opening of the new lawyer, Deborah Namamonde. Viola Nance, Subuga, UBC News.
Makerere University is set for its 76th graduation ceremony running from February 24th to 27th, 2026 at the Freedom Square. More than 8,400 graduates will receive PhDs, masters, bachelors, and postgraduate diplomas, reflecting a 30% growth in graduate output compared to the 75th graduation ceremony.
Normally, we graduate our students in the last week of January, but because this was coinciding with a very busy period of elections, we decided that we should postpone. The new graduation days are from 24th to 27th February, and it is a 4-day graduation this time. It is shorter because we are graduating less students. Why are we graduating less students? Because of the effects of COVID-19. During the 76th graduation ceremony this year, we shall be graduating 80,432. And of those, the proportion of the female, we have about 4,030 female, and then 4,412 male. We note that this year, of course, we are graduating more male, a significantly slight higher proportion of the male compared to the female, as compared to the previous year.
Makerere has introduced a biometric attendance management system, and this checks us staff. And if we are found to have attended less than 70%, you really have to explain where were you. So that ensures that people are coming and they are going to the right places. We are also going to introduce, there are plans to introduce biometric attendance management system at every lecture hall. To say while the teacher or the staff member came to class, came to the office, did they actually go to class? So we are constantly innovating. We have a research innovation fund, and this one runs per year. We thank the Uganda government for the money. It's a lot of money, 30 billion of taxpayers' money. And this is there to improve the quality of research, but also to work on institutional transformation. So if there is a particular need that is supposed to improve teaching and learning, we do that.
Expect that it will be a very colorful ceremony because we are also honoring two very important people in the life of the university. We'll be awarding 2 honorary degrees. We shall be awarding honorary degree to Mr. Japheth Kato, who was the pioneer CEO of the Capital Markets Authority and who has done quite a lot for growing Uganda's economic sector. The second honorary doctorate will be given to Ms. Rita Roy. Ms. Rita Roy is the pioneer CEO of the MasterCard Foundation, and we are honoring her for very important reasons because when she was appointed the CEO, she made Africa her priority. And her first visit was actually to Uganda when she was starting her job.
Welcome home to entertainment, to Wi-Fi everywhere, to high-speed internet, to security,
first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we're unstoppable.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800 217 200 or WhatsApp 0707 993 930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, is rolling out the mandatory motor vehicle inspection services as one of the interventions to improve road safety, protect the environment, and safeguard the health and well-being of the public. The key items for inspection are the braking system, suspension system, the lighting system, the exhaust emissions, and the general mechanical conditions of the vehicles, among others. The exercise has commenced for all government vehicles, public service vehicles PSVs, operating on fixed routes with route charts, private omnibuses PMOs, tourist vehicles, and those as may be referred by the Uganda Police Force in a dangerous mechanical condition. Other categories including private vehicles, light omnibuses, taxis, trucks and motorcycles will begin on a date to be communicated by the Minister of Works and Transport. The vehicle inspection centers are Kawanda on Bombo Road and Namamve on Jinja Road for motorcycles, light and heavy vehicles, Nabingo on Masaka Road and Namulanda on Entebbe Road for motorcycles and light vehicles. Mbale, Gulu and Bara inspection centers are for all categories of vehicles. The inspection fees have been significantly reduced to ensure compliance. Get your vehicles ready for inspection. Safer vehicles, safer road users, safer journeys. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Works and Transport.
And into the world of business, President Yoweri Museveni has declared 70% of Ugandans now participate in the money economy, up from just 9% at independence and 32% by 2013, crediting 4 decades of NRM's led transformation fueled by programs like NERDS, Emioga, and Parish Development Model.
Since 1986, Uganda's economy has evolved through 5 levels. That is, post-recession recovery, expanding the small colonial base destroyed under Amin, diversification, value addition to raw materials, and emerging knowledge sectors like automobiles and technology, now growing at 7% annually, with oil poised for double-digit growth. 4 pillars drive this: commercial agriculture, manufacturing in industrial parks like Namamve, Mbale, Kapeka, among others, services including tourism, real estate, and creative arts, plus ICT, oil and gas, and finance, gradually shifting households from subsistence barter to cash-based transactions, specialization, and financial inclusion.
We don't want a country of 70% rich people, 30% poor people, because now 70% of the people are in the money economy now.
Being in the money economy means earning wages, using banks or mobile money, buying goods with currency, and feeling inflation's pinch.
That money must grow you in one way or two. There is you earning money but is eaten up by sickness, by school fees. Really, you should have something extra for you that you can invest in other profit-making ventures and grow that money. Really, that's the money economy. That's why I say, as you earn, there should be a surplus beyond your expenditure. Then ideally we are talking about the money economy. You're using money to make money. rather than spending the money only.
Programs since Ntandikwa and Youth Livelihood Program have lifted 39% into markets by 2019, with Museveni warning against elite capture and pledging PDM tweaks for the remaining 30% still outside the money economy.
So what we want is everybody to be involved in wealth creation. Then if we have enough money, we deal with free education.
While urban areas lead, rural gaps persist despite agriculture's 72% employment. Economists eye surveys like Uganda's National Household Survey Report 2025 for verification, noting services at 36% of GDP, but questioning if 70% fully reflects widespread poverty and subsistence realities.
The reason for giving them that 1 million is getting them into the money economy so that they can, you get involved in business and try to grow that money. But you're giving a 1 million somebody who's having a sick parent, who is having 3-5 kids without school fees. Ideally, they are going to spend this 1 million intended for doing the other basic profiteering ventures. Now they are spending it on the basic health services needed, the basic education. Now it doesn't imply they are in the money economy.
The claim spotlights progress, but highlights the push to fully monetize Uganda's economy. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC News in Kampala.
The National Private Educational Institutions Association in Uganda, NPR, the umbrella body representing about 18,000 private schools nationwide, has partnered with Furaha Uganda Limited to roll out an innovative online school fees credit facility aimed at supporting parents and safeguarding private schools from growing fee defaults. Private institutions account for more than 70% of Uganda's education sector, enrolling about 8 million learners and employing over 400,000 teachers and skilled workers.
Existence of the schools, because where the default rate is high in the schools, services are not of quality and the services delay.
Parents are able to not worry about having funds to pay for school fees because they come to us. We make sure the funds are paid directly to their schools, and the child can go to school without any hindrance. And the parent can rest easy knowing that they have the duration of a school term to pay back that loan, because this loan is lasts a duration of 3 months through which they can pay back. And we've also made it very affordable for the parents, because this is a purpose-based loan. You'll find that our interest rates and the cost of providing this are much, much lower compared to what is in the market. If anything, we are playing at 50% lower than the market, at only 5% interest per month on this loan.
We are National Private Educational Institutions Association, Uganda, an umbrella association of private schools in Uganda, with an ecosystem including, but not limited to, proprietors of schools, proprietors of very many schools, from nursery up to high school. We are rolling out this program starting this academic year, which is commencing on 10th of February, and we are opening up doors for all and concerned.
Well, thank you so much for choosing us. That's all we had time for. My name is Patrcia Lukoma Mpango. Dorothy Namiyumba has been on sign language. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock.